Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Marvel's Guardian of the Galaxy, the Telltale Series. So, the story wanted the team to be broken up at the end of episode 4, so the team is broken up at the end of episode 4, regardless really of your decisions. But then we're going to start episode 5 and then just get the whole team back together to fight Hela, who is obviously the big bad of this season, or this game in general, since it didn't get a second season. Overall, while I did somewhat enjoy the flashback with Drax early in episode 4, the vast majority of the experience was really pointless, even more pointless than kind of the events of episode 3, or even episode 2, or even episode 1. I would say episode 1 in particular fails to make me really care about the idea of bringing back Peter Quill's Star-Lord's mother. She'd been dead for a long time, and she died naturally, whereas like Lila, the romance entrance of Rocket, died dramatically, and even I guess there really wasn't even anybody admitted here in episode 3 that had died, but eventually Nebula, I guess, dies. So now every Guardian at this point has a reason why they would want somebody brought back. Drax with his wife and child, although now Drax also is dead, but you can see him in the image here, so he is going to come back. So I imagine he's either coming back via magic or he's coming back because he didn't actually die. The only character in this entire game who's been a new character introduced is the worm creature introduced in episode 4. Blue is what we called him, or I let Drax name him. Which, yeah, Blue potentially nobly sacrificing himself at the end is really the only option, unless they really are gonna, if you really are gonna believe that Marvel and Disney would have let the Guardians of the Galaxy die even in a non-canon side story. Let's go ahead and jump in here. Now, what's interesting, I guess, is that we didn't get
of the Galaxy.
a next time on for episode 4. I don't think.
This thing is way too powerful for anyone to wield.
I don't think we saw a next time on section.
Baldi, he is lost to me.
This should include
Is destroyed
some decisions
because of him.
we made throughout the 4 previous
Once we get off
episodes.
this planet, I'm going to leave the Guardians. If I'm alone, the only one who could get hurt is me.
This is my chance, Peter, to protect my new family, like I never did for Hovat and Kamaria.
Tell me what I have to do.
My family will be proud, and I will tell them of my best friend, Peter Quill.
So this is basically just showing us why each member of the Guardians of the Galaxy
Where's Drax?
left.
I just thought we had a leader who would fight for us. All of us.
I ain't happy about Drax being gone, but I am happy to still be breathing.
Thank you for freeing me and teaching me that the loudest shouter is usually the most correct. But I must go.
The galaxy may need guarding, Peter, but not by us.
Gamora, wait.
It wasn't me who did
So
this,
it's
Peter.
basically
It
Blue
was you.
and the Rocket that are staying together, forming a new group. Weird visual glitch as it loads. The series adapts to the choices you make barely. It does not tailor how the story plays out if you play well or bad.
8 or 9 rounds. Then we find Hall.
We have some breaking news. Reports are flying in about a violent Kree attack on Jabari 5. Millions are feared dead.
Hey,
Now I'm
Pete.
questioning
I found her.
Earlier today, reports came in
Kree
of a deformed monster
were fully
rampaging across
extinct.
the galaxy, attacking planets at random. It
Or
appeared as
thought
if
to
the
be
creature was
fully
able to
extinct.
draw life out of innocent bystanders without even touching them.
So she doesn't even have to touch him now.
I will hunt you down to the ends of the galaxy. I shall destroy Knowhere. Then I will continue to Earth. There will be no home for you anywhere. Death is coming.
Nowhere is the name of a location. Anywhere is just a general word.
Holy crap! I can't believe the team just ditched us when we've got this planet-nuking lady to deal with. Perfect timing. Now we gotta deal with Hala as a death monster with a gun that can blow a hole in a planet.
So we'll just
our
say
own.
they'll be back.
Just you wait. They'll be crawling back to us in no time.
I don't know, Quill. They were all pretty damn pissed when they left. Guardian's gone. Drax dead. And Hala just seems to be getting stronger. Yeah, the last couple of days have gone from being a pile of crap to a pile of crap on fire. But even with all that, I just want you to know, I believe in you, man. I mean, you always figure something out. That's why I stuck around.
It's ridiculous how many different,
blame a
how
guy like
few
you for
locations
trying.
are in this game compared to
Rocket.
even other Telltale
Really
games.
appreciate it.
We've been back to this bar like
Yeah,
3 or
yeah,
4
you gotta believe in
times.
something.
We've been to
You're
Nowhere
the
3
closest thing
times.
to me right now.
We've been
There's only
inside some
one way
kind
we
of
can stop her.
ancient temple
We need to get the
3
Guardians
times.
back together.
We flashed back to Earth
Peter!
3
We have to get
times.
the Guardians back together!
Groot? What are you doing here?
I am Groot.
Let's see. So those two are already back.
Is there an award for quickest turnaround? Because if there is, you'd win it. Didn't you just leave?
It would be a mistake,
This
certainly,
is serious, Peter.
if
I am Groot.
this episode
Oh, no.
spent a lot of time getting the
This is
team
worse
back
than
together.
I thought. I could sense that remnants of the Forge still existed. They must be inside of Hala. It appears where the Forge granted life. Hala can now take it. With every life she claims, she'll gain more power. We're doomed.
Are you friggin' kidding me?
I'm so sorry. I had no idea.
Okay, let's just calm down. We are not doomed. We just need to figure out some sort of plan.
I am Groot.
Yeah, you said it.
The Eternity Forge is highly unstable. It would be extremely toxic to Hala. It's likely that she needs to kill to keep herself alive.
So you're saying if she stopped killing people,
The Forge would consume her.
So we're not
I am
really
Groot.
seeing that she has the ability
You
to
have
bring
seen what
anybody
she
else
has
back
become.
to life.
Hala is too powerful a foe for the Guardians to take on.
Let's see. Cheer up, Mantis. I'll go with
come
that.
on, Mantis. Let's turn that frown upside down.
Forgive me if I find it hard to smile when I can feel every person that Hala murders.
I am Groot.
The Guardians are broken. I don't see a world where you can actually defeat Hala.
NovaCorp's
And when
probably
you
going to
work
show up
together-
and help us.
You all hated each other. I can't imagine a time when you didn't hate each other.
Let's see. We can
It's
change.
not too late for us to change. Come on, guys, help me out here.
Look,
It's hard to
Mantis,
care
You didn't see us at our best.
about a specific
am Groot.
character since we've
Wait,
jumped
you wanna
around
do what?
through different people's.
Groot wants
We've
to show
controlled
us
multiple characters. If this was a story more around Peter Quill being depressed and leaving the Guardians, then it would be easier to just to focus on Peter Quill changing his opinion, changing how he feels, versus trying to change the opinion of all the Guardians.
something. Get your hands off me, man. I'm innocent.
So
Got the
now we're
wrong
flashing
guys.
back.
Oh, you mean to tell me there's another rodent and tree duo out there
Yes!
who were scanned and ID'd by several bystanders
Yes!
and caught red-handed?
I'm telling you, I just got one of those faces that looks guilty.
I am Groot.
Groot saying
yes,
he's
we know who
sorry.
you are.
Forget it, Groot. These bucketheads
So we're
can't
playing as
understand
Groot.
you. Don't worry, I know how to handle this. As soon as they lock us up, I'm gonna go up to the biggest, baddest dude in there and knock him out.
So is this how they're going to meet each other in prison?
Oh boy. Hey!
I did not know this was an animal prison, too. Or perhaps you are my meal. You would hardly be satisfying, though. I am Groot, and I,
This is ridiculous.
Drax the Destroyer,
You're just playing as
not
Groot.
attempt to challenge me. I will tear you limb
See, this
from
is
limb,
about the only
or
funny
snout
way
from
to
tail,
do this.
Whichever would be more
Whereas
painful.
all the other I Am
I
Groots
challenged
throughout the
you.
game.
I'm still here.
That is because you cheated. You had a weapon, and I did not. You
Take it easy. Knock it off! All right. Make room for one more. Hey, don't get too
So-
comfortable. We'll be back to take you to permanent lockup soon.
There's at least one guy in the background that's
Who is
not a
this
Guardian.
loser?
Call me Star-Lord.
Oh, that's
I'm sure you've all heard of me,
ridiculous.
especially you.
Mustache.
Definitely not.
No.
Nope.
Well, now you have.
Please stop winking.
I am Groot.
Then
Adam,
we could
I
go.
can't take anyone with facial hair seriously.
Nice to meet you,
He's
Groot.
covered in
What
facial
kind of tree
hair.
are you?
Rocket is.
Spruce, elm?
I am Groot.
Yeah, you already said that.
Interesting, you don't get to answer that question. The purple guy.
I could tell you guys are the real badasses in the room. Legendary outlaws like me. Not you. We're too good looking to stay locked up in here. Don't you think? The second the Nova Corps start running background checks on us, none of us are ever gonna see the sweet light of day again. I don't know about you all, but I got an amazing, eventful life out there that I want to get back to in, say, 5 minutes ago.
I am Groot.
And I'm still Star-Lord. Look, so here's the deal. We're breaking out of here.
I'm not going anywhere with any of you.
Settle down in there. All of you.
I will not settle. No prison can contain me.
I'll go gladly if this giant ass won't be there.
My ass is the correct proportion for my body. It is 100% pure muscle.
I don't need to hear about your ass muscles.
Honestly, this is
rodent who first
probably
mentioned
something that almost certainly
am
should have been the
Groot.
first scene
Fighting isn't gonna
of
get
the
us anywhere.
first episode.
We need to work together.
We
Hate
needed
to admit
this
it, Stash Lord is right.
backstory.
We're fighting the
and
wrong people.
We needed this kind of
I
happy
just came up with
foundation.
a brilliant plan that's totally original.
Otherwise, you
calling it-
assume
Wait to hear
that
this.
the Guardians of the
Great
Galaxies are
Escape.
working together well,
You see that guard there?
uh,
He's the only one with the key card
just
to get
because
us
you've
out of
seen the
here.
movies. But if you've seen
There's
the
no way
movies,
we
then
can
that
get to it.
also
We
kind
gotta
of
escape another way.
doesn't
There's a
make
force
a,
field all
a
around
ton
us,
of
but
sense
not
since this
below
is not
us.
canon to the
And
movie.
that's where you come in, muscle man.
I agree to this nickname.
You are gonna use those beefy mitts of yours to dig us a tunnel to the other side of the force field.
Beefy mitts?
We don't have anywhere to hide all the debris, so this tree, well, you're gonna have to eat it all. And once we're over there, that's where you come in, gadget guy.
Uh-huh.
You're little and adorable, so you're the perfect distraction.
Say that again.
You're the perfect distraction, so that knife lady can kick the guards' asses until
So
they're
he's
unconscious.
trying to think of a way
And what
to
are you
escape, and
doing
Groot is
while
just
we
gonna
do all the work?
stick his hand through the
The
vents
most important
and
part.
grab the
I'm
key
gonna spring
card.
my hover bike out of evidence lockdown. Then you can all hop on the back.
And once we get into this point, we stop being able to hear what they were saying. I don't know if it was really necessary to have a section like that, though. If anything, it seems kind of silly. this
you,
could have
Rooks?
easily just been a cutscene. It's funny he's mentioning rooks. He's playing a video game.
I'm not gonna lie. A couple of you might die. But know that I will never forget you. Or we could just use the key card. I love this tree. I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friend.
Escape. You were going to say escape.
Friendship. I was gonna say friendship, but escape will do.
And the purple guy, what, just stays there in the prison? I guess that's a slight justification to have one more flashback.
I was wrong about you guys. There's a reason you all ended up together. I never knew. You're not a team.
It was the mustache.
Or a family. Or friends in the conventional sense. But somehow it works.
I wouldn't say the mustache.
Yeah. It was all the mustache.
Peter? I don't think that's it.
We've grown since then. We can be like that again.
I do miss that time. But we've changed. For the better. Back then, we were just trying to break out of prison. Now, we're trying to save innocent lives. We're the guardians of the galaxy. It's time we start acting like it.
They just gave themselves that name, by the way.
I am Groot.
As far as I understand it. They just made it up. They justified taking the name, certainly, by defeating Thanos.
Okay. Just gotta find Gamora.
It's anyone's guess where she is. She's still an assassin. She'll know where to go if she don't want to be found.
Mantis, you were able to track down the shrine using your abilities. Do you think you could find one of us too?
I can usually only sense someone who is nearby. But I may be able to extend my range with your help.
I am Groot.
I have an idea.
What?
You're going to love it.
I still question whether or not Star-Lord is going to have some kind of magical control over the fragments of the Eternity Forge and Hala and just take the power away from her.
Where are we?
You and I have merged minds.
This is inside my mind. It seems kind of empty.
A lot of side quests
I've never shared this
happening
with
here.
anyone before, and you didn't die or anything. This is amazing. I wasn't sure it would work, but it did.
Well, I'm just happy that you're happy, Mantis.
I am happy. Isn't this so neat? This island here represents your subconscious mind, Peter. And those other islands represent your friends. Gamora could be anywhere in the galaxy by now. In order to find her, we'll need to build a bridge.
This feels very video
Bridge.
gamey.
Yes, a bridge of feelings. I won't be able to do it myself. I'll need your help.
We're getting creepy whispering in the background.
Yeah, I don't get it. But I'm willing to go along with it.
My abilities as an empath will allow me to translate your emotional connection to the Guardians into a physical connection. If we
This
can reach
potentially
your friends' islands,
May feel
we'll
like
learn
you
where
would
they
get
are.
a different
Now,
ending here
I need you to concentrate
based on your
very
choices
hard.
previously.
When you think about the Guardians, what emotions do you
But
feel
I
the
imagine
strongest?
it's not going to really matter. Okay. So I can look down at love, or I could highlight anger, pride, frustration, worry, pity. Sure, let's go with love, although maybe we'll lose that option for every other question.
Whoa, what the hell was that?
On this plane, emotions are able to take physical form. Those are memories that you can connect to with your feelings. If we focus on your emotional relationships with the rest of your team, they will be easier to find.
I can get her back, Pete. If we charge the forge, we can revive Lila. I can get her back.
Keep us from falling apart.
We can revive Lila.
So we have different choices here. But no audio description here, so if you are deaf, subtitles wouldn't help you. I notice that's been a problem with this game.
I can get her back, Pete. If we charge the forge, we can revive Lila.
Let's go with this one first. This sounds like
I can get her
Rocket.
back, Pete. If we charge the forge, we can revive Lila.
I guess that would be Rocket's love. But why would that take us to Gamora? Seems like we have to do them all anyways. This is a perhaps cheap way to reuse content from the previous episodes.
You're the one who's gonna keep us from falling apart.
These kind of memory palaces, mind palaces ideas, I don't think have ever actively worked in video games as a concept. There's a game called Remember Me that tried to focus around that idea. And even in that, when it was a major gameplay mechanic, it didn't really feel that well thought through.
This is my chance, Peter, to protect my new family.
So we should go to the blue one.
Your bond with Drax is very strong.
But I don't understand. You can sense Drax, but Drax is dead.
I can't explain it, but I can certainly feel his presence through your emotions.
Yep. So Drax isn't really dead. We didn't see a
You've told me how
body.
you feel about the Guardians. That's good. But in order to find your friends, I'll need more. How do you think your friends feel about being Guardians?
Happy, conflicted, regret, annoyed, proud, pissed off, annoyed. What happens if we choose a negative one? Let's go with conflicted. Feels like of those different options, maybe that would bring up different options here.
She was the only thing keeping me alive. And I couldn't save her.
There's a real danger here. We're going to spend 30-40 minutes in this mind palace just hearing lines of dialogue we had seen already, or heard already.
He was a monster, yes. But he was also my family.
And this is perhaps the worst example of a Telltale game running out of budget for that final episode, because you're probably going to buy the 5th episode if you bought the other episodes or bought the season pass, and you'll not likely go refund it just because the final episode is terrible. In all fairness too, Telltale went out of business slightly before Steam had its 2 hours of gameplay, no question asked refund policy, so a Telltale game almost certainly would have gotten refunded quite a bit if that policy had been available for Steam. The first episode being 2 hours long, you could rush through it and then say, heck, it's not worth it.
I discarded everything, even the things that reminded me of my beloved Kamaria and Hovat.
This is very unsettling, but please keep trying. You're doing great.
I didn't think I was actually capable of feeling this many emotions. I'm so deep.
At least
Let's just try
in
once
some of the
more.
later
You and the
Walking Dead
Guardians have
games,
had
you would be
so
in a
many
room talking to
amazing
people
adventures.
with
How
more
would you describe
important
your
conversations
happiest
and
moment with
dialogue.
them?
Here we're not really revealing anything. Rogue. Let's go with awesome.
I think that's enough. If you explore all these memories, we should have what we need to build our bridges.
Hey, I was surrounded by adoring fans.
If we save Drax, bring him back,
Hey, I was
Gamora.
surrounded by adoring fans. I couldn't let them go thirsty.
Your emotions towards Rocket are extremely complicated and varied.
Drax the Destroyer has purpose once again.
So we could just walk the Drax to Rocket. So let's go ahead and check out that and see what that does for us. Like, what we know where Rocket is, he's basically in the room next to you.
That's the bridge. Makes sense.
And all they've done is taken the
Rocket's been here the
textures
whole
and
time.
removed.
In spite of everything
They've
you've
taken the
been through,
3D models and removed the
Rocket cares
textures
about
from
you
them.
a great deal. He must really value your friendship to remain at your side.
Way too
I'm
much
glad he stuck around.
time, potentially,
He's
for
a
some of these choices,
good
but
friend.
better to have too much
I
time to
suspect that is
choose
why
than
he
too
stayed.
little.
He knows how well you two get along, how much you need each other.
So, I know where Rocket is. But what's with all these other lights, orb thingies?
They represent your feelings, Peter. You should explore them.
Has purpose once again. Drax the Destroyer has purpose once again.
We really don't get any indication that if Peter Quill
Drax is back.
controlled his feelings or
If Drax
or
is somehow
explored
still
his
out
feelings,
there,
he would
your
become
feelings can lead
more
us to him.
empowered. Like it definitely feels more like a character like Raven from the DC universe would be a character, or Starfire from the Teen Titans would be more around feelings. Yeah, Starfire's powers are about embracing her feelings and feeling them. Raven's powers is more about controlling her feelings and not being overwhelmed by them. Star-Lord doesn't really have any kind of magical powers as far as I know.
Wait, this is... What the hell does this mean, Mantis?
It means Drax is alive. And it means you left him for dead. Poor Drax. He must be so lonely.
Let's go with that.
No. Drax, oh god, I feel terrible.
We all thought Drax was dead. We may have assumed too quickly. Oops.
The others will be so excited that he's still alive.
His sacrifice caused so much turmoil. Hopefully this will repair what was broken in your team.
The ship is still broken
Okay, we know where Drax
at this
is.
point, though.
But we're not done here. Keep looking.
So it would make a lot more sense that they are still going to be stuck on Knowhere, and then Hala's going to come to them and try and kill Peter Quill.
We did it. I still can't believe we did it. Thanos is gone.
Now, if I was to guess where Gamora is,
There are so many
she's probably
contrasting emotions that you feel
either
towards
really
Gamora.
close, or she went back to Thanos' homeworld, or some place important to Thanos and Gamora and Nebula, the barrier. I could also see her potentially going to the Nova Corps, a Nova Corps location.
And I know this place.
Thanos
I've
has
been
a
here.
celestial throne.
This is Thanos' training room from Gamora's memory.
Gamora hated her father. Why would she go back?
But they're not going to talk about the throne because that's kind of a ridiculous
where her and Nebula still
thought.
got along before they didn't. Maybe the place reminds her of her sister.
She must
Doesn't
feel
seem
so
like
lonely.
Thanos really has too many other
Rocket
people who
stayed
work
with us,
for him.
So that island will probably
Whereas
show us the
Apocalypse from the DC universe has
Milano. I'm proud of you,
his
Peter. You did
entire
well
armies
connecting with your
on top of
emotions. I know it
many
couldn't have
other
been easy.
superhero,
someone such as
supervillain
yourself.
characters.
Not everyone can connect with people as easily as I can, but I'm an empath, so that is to be expected.
Surprising people is my specialty.
Clearly,
Yes, and
Mantis
you were
is
certainly
being
full of
used as a
surprises.
crutch to make this game more about
So,
emotions.
Guess we just have to
When-
pick them up.
A
Who should we get
Guardians of the
first?
Galaxy game,
Let's go
Let's go,
grab Drax.
Let's go.
giving Gamora more time is not going to put her in danger, where Drax could easily be in danger being left on that planet. They just are skipping the fact that the ship was broken at the end of the last episode. And they're skipping past the point of
What about that
convincing
giant
Rocket
worm thing?
or
If it's still alive, I'm getting the hell out of town.
Don't worry. If
Groot
Drax is
to go
alive, I
with
got
them.
money on that thing being dead. Whoa. He actually did it. Drax!
Of course, Drax may be upset now.
That worm was, you came out of it. Like you were
May be
inside
upset
it,
because he
and
has
then
no
you
purpose
came
again.
out? That's amazing.
You doubted me, Peter Quill.
No, yes, maybe.
You have no idea how relieved I am. I mean, I thought I'd never see you again.
Yes, the reasonable conclusion when I leapt from the ship would be that I perished. The creature did not give up easily. Our battle raged for hours.
I imagine
felt
Drax could have
Proud,
the remnants of
but
the
I think I was
war.
happier butchering that hideous worm than when I got revenge on my daughter's killer. How could that be? I cannot find a reason for it. That worm has no importance to me. How can this battle mean more to me than ours against Thanos?
Revenge doesn't bring you happiness. It just delays the pain a while. It's about what you want, not what you need.
That is incredibly wise. I am not used to hearing such wisdom from you, Peter. In the midst of battle, I felt such exhilaration and nothing else. I spared not a single thought for Kamaria. I think I am afraid that with each passing moment, her memory will continue to disappear. I fear that once I forget, Kamaria will die a second death.
Drax being
Feelings
way more
will
thoughtful
not
than he
stop.
usually is.
I do not know how to proceed.
I don't think that's true at all. Your memories of your family will last forever. Kamaria will always be a part of you.
That is impossible. She is not a part of me. She is dead!
We should point to the tattoo.
I am not used to being afraid of anything. Oh, if only I were dead. These feelings would not cause me such distress. No matter how hard I try.
For someone who says he wants to die, you suck at it. Like, I don't know what to tell you, Drax. Maybe you're just invincible.
Of course. I must be invincible. But this only makes things worse. I was not completely honest with you before. I did wish to protect the Guardians. But part of me hoped that I might see my daughter again in the afterlife. If such a thing does exist, I do not know. But the thought of reuniting with my family...
I don't think Gamora would want you to get yourself killed just so you could see her. You can't just give up, Drax. There is so much left to live for.
This is getting a little too sappy for Guardians of the Galaxy.
I always taught Gamora to persist, no matter how daunting the adversary.
I guess this is the only few places they can squeeze characterization for Drax in.
For her.
He'll just be a big
Thank you, my friend.
blockhead
I
the rest of the
feel more
game, I'm
sure of
sure.
my path forward.
There's
Hey,
this
guys, it's
movie,
all clear.
it's a pretty old one,
Bring the ship down.
called Big Trouble in Little China.
Let us
And I
return
wonder
to your garbage heap
if the
of a
Guardians
ship.
of Galaxy
The galaxy
movie
is counting on
should
us to stop Hala,
potentially be more like
and I
that.
have wasted enough time beside this rotting carcass.
Well, it's what's on the inside that counts.
The inside is also atrocious.
In the idea,
Dare you?
my point there being that Star-Lord should think he's the hero of the Guardians of the Galaxy movie, but he really should just be the comedic side character,
All right.
sidekick to the real hero, which is what happens in Big Trouble
Expecting
in
any
Little
calls
China.
today?
Is that secretly the guy who looks like a
I do not
side
know how
character
you
is the
escaped
actual
crime,
hero.
But there is nowhere you can run to now. You and your guardians will suffer greatly for what you have done.
I can't believe I have to say this to anyone, but stop killing people. Just stop it.
It's
And
weird
then
that
maybe we can talk.
the screen comes up
Not a negotiation.
in the middle there when
You
you would
stolen
have
everything from me.
monitors right in front of the
I will
screen,
kill
the
everyone you've ever known.
pilots too.
Everyone you've ever loved.
This is between you
I guess if we
and
keep
me,
her
Hala.
talking,
Think about what you're doing.
Oh,
we might slow her down, which might weaken her.
She hung up on me. I can't believe she hung up on me.
You're unbelievable, Quill.
I am Groot.
Yeah, you said it. Did Hala always look that gnarly?
It's as I said. The Forge is taking its toll on her.
Yeesh. If she's coming for Knowhere, we've got to hustle.
But if
Keep the
you were
engine
gonna
running. I'll be
do
back soon.
Guardians of the Galaxy like Big Trouble in Little China, you would have to have basically
think
Gamora
Gab's
be
gonna
the
be a
smart
little
one,
pissed at you?
solving all the
What are you
problems
gonna
behind his
say?
back.
I'm sure I'll think of something in the moment.
And
Word
that
of
probably
advice,
isn't
Pete?
in line with
Think
the
harder.
comics.
Gamora?
You've got some nerve. Following me here, of all places. I told you I was done. I'm not in a very charitable mood, Peter. Leave. Or I'll make you leave. Or
I
are
guess
you
the-
here to fight? I won't go easy on you.
Mention of Nebula.
Whoa, there is
Nebula,
no
I
need for
assume
violence
she's
here.
still
Okay,
dead.
Let's just talk it out.
I've said enough.
So the game's just gonna make us do QuickTime events.
You said you keep everyone together.
Should I really shoot at her? I guess we have to
Hulk is
fight.
more powerful than ever.
I don't think your gun has a stun on it, so looks like she is trying to kill.
Dead.
Drax isn't dead.
What? Why didn't you open with that? Drax is alive? And you didn't bother mentioning it before?
I was working up to it.
Work up to it faster next time.
Could have also just called her.
He was devoured by that thing. You said he was gone.
I thought he was, but he's not. He killed that space worm and is now hanging on the Milano with everyone else. Drax is back to his, well, his normal self.
Ah!
What?
Ah! I just don't get it. Why does everything just work out for you? No matter what you do,
See, that would
everything
potentially
just
be his magical
conveniently works out
ability.
for the great Star-Lord.
You call this working out? The Guardians are scattered, Drax nearly got eaten, you almost killed me 2 seconds ago. Oh, and Hala's out to destroy the galaxy because of me.
But despite that, we're all unscathed.
Not
So
Nebula.
Drax happened to survive, but you told him to sacrifice himself, knowing full well that it could kill him. Can't you even pretend to be bothered by that?
Sure.
Show me something. Anything. At least some semblance of remorse.
You're asking if I feel bad? Of course I feel bad.
Way
Then
too much
why won't you
dialogue
show it?
here.
Hey, what do you want from me?
Best
Want me to
case
run around
scenario, we're gonna
crying?
have the last
This isn't
hour
my
of this
style,
whole game
Gamora.
just be action on
You
top
shrug
of
through
action.
everything,
And
free of consequence.
even that won't
While
feel
I
very satisfactory.
feel punished for merely existing. I've done so many horrible
Seems like they are
things.
just gonna conveniently not mention Nebula
thought-
in this.
I tortured a little girl. All because I was too scared to stand up to Thanos. And now, my sister is dead. I'll never be able to forgive myself. You made a mistake coming back, Peter. I can't help anyone.
You were as much of a victim as Nebula was. Look, Thanos is to blame. Not you.
Thanos may have given the order, but the
We still
blade was in
have
my
no
hand.
idea where Thanos' body is at this point.
Rocket pushes people away to hide his pain. Drax revels in his rage. But I don't know how to get past it. All the lives I've ruined. I've hurt so many people. Despicable acts I did to serve Thanos.
Well, no matter how much it hurts, we have to soldier on. Our job is to make sure the good outweighs the bad.
If that's the job, I failed long ago. I don't even know why you bothered coming here.
It'd be funny if I actually failed in a conversation. You're my best friend because I missed you. I can't do this without you. I missed you. I can't do this without
My
you. Let's go with
rock.
that one.
You're also the only one who gets my jokes. I can't do this without you.
I close my
You can
eyes at
pretty
night,
well
and I'm
tell
right
at
back
this
here.
point, though, that
I'm that
this
frightened
person
girl,
remembers that,
unsure
this
of
person
what
remembers
or who to
something
trust.
else. Doesn't
I want
matter.
nothing more than that pain to be over.
You have to forgive yourself, Gamora. It's the only way you can move forward.
Right. You're right.
What would be more interesting is if there were 5 slightly different endings where one of the Guardians sacrifices their lives for the others. But I bet they didn't do that. Still getting slow loads and
Hey, Drax.
fade the
Surprised to admit
blacks
it,
in between it.
I'm actually glad to see you.
I too am glad you have not perished in a violent and agonizing way. Perhaps by sudden evisceration or Balinese organ chewing. I once saw a man have his organs chewed. Oh, how we laughed at his pain. Like this.
I guess the worm may be on the ship too.
But seriously, his pain must have been tremendous.
Yep. Definitely the same old Drax.
Absence does make the heart grow fonder. Unfortunately.
We still have Groot with the flowers on his arm for no real reason.
Welcome home, everyone.
Yeah.
Just because we chose one path versus the other.
Groot says it's so good to see you all.
Look at you, Peter. Somehow you managed to get us all back in the same room. I didn't think we'd see each other after last time. Unless, you know, we ended
It's
up in
always
the
a good
same
idea to
prison
apologize.
again.
Good times.
Yeah. First off, I wanted to apologize. I was acting like kind of a
Jerk?
Jackass?
Coward? Ooh, I am Groot?
Yes. I am sorry
You
for
can
all
say
of those things.
ooh.
I wish I had better news for you, but things have turned into a bad monster movie out there.
Yes, Hala and the Eternity Forge have merged into a singular being. But where the relic granted life, Hala absorbs life.
We accidentally created a supervillain. Go team.
Yes. We created a worthy adversary. I am impressed with us.
She has to be stopped before she strikes again. Hala contacted me. She said this won't end until we're dead or she is.
There's only one thing we can do.
I'll get the cyanide pills.
I am Groot.
Fine, I'll just get mine.
The rodent is right. Our chances of victory have not improved since the last time we fought her.
Hala is heading for Knowhere. For us. I'm open to suggestions on how we approach this.
So I guess we're gonna have to make a decision here.
Well, you've been on her ship before. I can analyze the readings from last time and see if there's a way to take out her weapons. When in doubt, look to the data. There's gotta be a weak spot or two we can exploit.
Again, we'll just stroke egos.
If Hala's ship has
Say
a
the
weakness,
nicest thing we can
I
pick.
know you'll be able to find it.
Flattery will get you everywhere, Pete. I'll do my best.
Hala isn't going to go easy on us. We'll
Even
have
if you were to
prepare
play these
take her
Telltale
down.
games as an
I'll be on the
absolute
bridge,
jerk,
Pete. Come
you'd
talk
still
to me
pretty
when you
much
the
get the
chance.
same endings. Either that or you'd run into a game over scenario and have to choose something different.
Thanks, Groot.
Alright, so check with Rocket and come up with a plan.
You still owe me 50
One
units
last
from our
time.
last sparring practice.
Last time I get to walk around the ship, although technically the ship is lighter now. And that we've ripped out everything. Which means we can't play with the radio. Let's go ahead and talk to Mantis.
Oh, hello, Peter.
Something wrong?
No. Well, this isn't the way I imagined the prophecy of the Celestial One to turn out. On one hand, you destroyed the Eternity Forge, which I think was the right call.
You do?
But on the other hand, Hala is a horrible monster now. What if the prophecy is wrong? I'm afraid no matter what I do, I can't escape the Forge. I was sure that when the Celestial One chose the fate of the Forge, I would finally find peace. But I was clearly wrong. And now everything has collapsed.
Oh, screw the prophecy. You have to make your own path. Don't let your life be dictated by some stupid fairy tale.
Maybe you're right. I have to move on from the life I have been told to lead. Thank you, Peter. Was there something you wanted to ask?
I guess, how are you feeling? What's next for you? I'm glad
How
you
are
came
you
back.
holding up?
It's...
We'll just exhaust
Not
all the
easy.
dialogues.
I can feel every life Hala takes. Now that she's merged with the Forge's power, I'm okay for now, but it takes a lot of energy out of me. Once this is all over, I'll be much better.
Once this is all over, what are you gonna do?
I really don't
I
like
hadn't
that they
considered it.
moved the choices
I
around.
think maybe I'd like to travel. There's so much I never got to experience when I was
Theoretically,
locked away.
that means you could just hold
It
the
would be
A button
exciting to
down.
live my own life instead of laying down inside a box.
Although weirdly, this game without audio descriptions isn't actually that accessible
Glad
for
you're back
people
with
who
us,
might
Mantis.
have disabilities.
Honestly, I'm glad to. I'm sorry I left
And they
before.
obviously knew it wasn't much
I
of
was
a
just caught up
game
in the
once
moment.
they introduced the
And
idea of
strain
crowd
was
play.
Too much on my
And you
emotions.
could just let
I know it wasn't
people
for very
watching
long,
on Twitch
being alone
play along.
and
play
surrounded
for
by
you.
strangers was overwhelming. If Groot hadn't found me, I don't know what I would have done.
I should go.
Yep.
Lots of work to do.
Of course.
Noticeably, the concept of crowd play really never took off as the way it's being implemented or was implemented on Telltale games. There are a few games where they have made web apps or cell phone apps so multiple people can play together, but the Twitch plays Pokemon mentality and is controlled by just the chat on Twitch in general, and that really only became popular for Pokemon games and basically nothing else as far as I know. That was a fad from many years ago.
How's it going, Blue? Aw, it's a good boy.
Blue is the only character that
Do space worms even have
potentially is gonna die. Now we may need to talk to Rocket, and then we can't go into the engine room. Like we may have to come back and talk to the other characters
Quill,
also.
I was waiting for you. I wish to apologize.
For what?
I realize I have not been the same since we slew Thanos. I was so consumed in my emotions that I uselessly sacrificed myself. My selfish act put the Guardians at risk. For that I am deeply sorry, and I hope you can accept my sincere apology.
Yeah, let's just accept it.
Apology accepted, Drax. Don't worry about it.
Talking to Drax in simple terms
Now
is
let us
probably
repress
easier.
these feelings and never speak of them again. I will try to redeem myself once again in the coming battle against Hala.
So, that giant space worm. How'd you kill it?
It is a heroic tale that people will talk about for generations. I launched myself into the jaws of the worm creature, narrowly avoiding endless rows of teeth. I used my blades to slow my descent, shredding the creature's pulsating throat.
It'd be funny if it turns out the cookies he's been eating the whole time.
Cores of 6 dead ships. The explosion resulting from digestive fumes and flammable fecal matter was the most beautiful sight I have ever seen.
Let's see, how did you escape?
How the hell did you get out of there?
Peter, some may not know this, but when a creature is in its death throes, the sphincter relaxes. I was forced to swim through bile. Gland juices seeped into my nose and mouth until I emerged, moist, reeking, victorious. I look forward to repeating this tale many, many times for the others.
Let's see. Let's go with sorry we left you.
Sorry we left you for dead.
I do not blame you for your ineptitude. I also thought I was bound to die. It was a reasonable misunderstanding.
Later, Drax.
What happens later?
Well, there was one more thing.
Hey, Drax.
It moved the options around.
You ready for one last battle?
I do not believe this will be our last battle.
This is
Hala,
taking
it will be.
too long.
Later, Drax.
What happens later?
There is a great example of where, in most point-and-click adventures where you're going to have like dialogue like that, the ability to leave the conversation kind of necessitates at least 2 different ending things to be said, or for it to be more natural in a way that you don't put a joke at the end of a conversation that you would hear multiple times. Although I bet most players wouldn't end the conversation more than once. There's
Hey, Gamora.
a small chance some will.
Hey.
This is just way too much talking back to back.
I wanted to thank you again.
We
What
do
you
have
said back
slightly
at that
different
training hall,
background music
I really
playing
appreciate it.
compared to the stream
If you
safe
hadn't have
music.
shown up when you did, I don't know what might have happened.
I meant what I said. Every word.
I know. And it means a lot to me. So, what was on your mind?
It's weird to have characters walk around while you're talking. Let's see. Let's go with worried about taking on Hala.
I'm worried about taking on Hala.
I know what you mean, but the others look to you as their leader. Put on a strong face for them.
Like this?
Keep working on it.
See, this is funny because this feels like a big choice to say, to have Peter Quill say he has feelings for Gamora. We kind of know in the Marvel movies they obviously do, probably in the comics also, but in the actual game they haven't really established any kind of romantic feelings. Although he may say, I have feelings for you, and then she may interpret that completely differently, or even he may interpret it completely differently.
So, I think that we should, maybe talk. Just to talk about, you and me. I mean, I just care for you. A lot.
I know.
Oh, you do? Okay. So, how do you feel?
Peter, I just, maybe...
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, of
They're
course,
both
yeah, sure.
emotionally
just,
stunted
put a pin
people. Them
right in
having
it. Just
a romance would be...
That's the pin going in the, yeah.
a mess, to say
Just
the
for later.
least. I feel like more than likely Gamora and Peter Quill might just agree on a friends with benefits type scenario where they would just get drunk and sleep with each other and then try and have no emotional attachments from that, which is pretty much impossible, because if you're sleeping with someone, you're literally creating the chemicals in your brain to have emotional attachments. But that would be kind of what you would expect in a Marvel story or Marvel movie if Marvel movies were going to touch on that aspect, which they wouldn't, because they want that PG-13 audience. Knowhere is supposed to be kind of hidden, only known to criminals, per se, but I guess Hala knows where it is.
I am Groot.
Listen, I wasn't stuck. I was just waiting for my dramatic entrance.
I am Groot.
Shut up.
We could also use the computer.
I am Groot.
We'll talk to Groot.
You ready to kick some Hala butt?
I am Groot.
Wish we were all as optimistic about it as you are.
Hey, thanks for showing me your memory.
It's ridiculous to talk to Groot, but
Speaking
they do
of,
try
what
to
did you
fix
show him
it
anyway?
I am
by having Rocket in there.
Oh yeah, Stash Lord. I almost forgot about that upper lip atrocity.
I can't believe we managed to get everyone back.
Except for
I am
Nebula.
Groot.
Groot says the only reason we're all back is because of you. I'm inclined to agree.
Thanks, guys. I'll see you around, buddy.
I am Groot.
You had me worried back there, Groot. Thought you were mad at me or something.
I am Groot.
Thanks, buddy.
Got some explosives.
This looks like a pile of...
You know, if
Are these
this
explosives?
doesn't go our way, I just want to tell you.
I am Groot.
Interesting,
Yeah.
2 lines of
Me too.
dialogue playing at the same time there. Okay, we were supposed to talk to...
I am Groot.
Really? Pete got in touch with his feelings? That actually worked?
Rocket first.
Go on.
It's funny, the camera's not really scrolled in correctly, so... We have an entry for Celestials, which maybe means a Celestial, such as Star-Lord's father, may show up. Also mentioning the Collector in that. We have another update on Drax. Another update potentially on Gamora. Another update on Groot. Just extra reading. I suppose it's nice for people who do like to read in games to have this much extra stuff. Skyrim notoriously being one of the games that has a ton of extra reading if you want to engage with it. Although I question if that many gamers actually do want any level of extra reading more than just your bare minimum amount. Yes, it makes sense to have some backstory on these characters just so you can remind yourself, but if they gave me even 3 pages of a story around these characters, I find that to be too much because there's too many characters in general. I doubt Meredith Quill is showing up. If anything, perhaps these codexes should be on the main menu as an extra so that it would give you something else to engage with while not playing a specific episode, if you were perhaps waiting for the next episode to be released had you been playing this game when it first launched. Maybe Torium crystals will come back, maybe Yondu will come back. But I would say it gets really crazy once you start getting into these emails. Because these feel like these should be probably voice lined recorded and played back as audio logs. Or, you know, these could have been collectibles that you picked up while wandering around in the open world point and click sections. Too much emails, too much back jokes are hidden in the back of the codex. Like this spam. I seriously doubt the Universal Church of Truth is going to come back. Yep. I seriously doubt Howard the Duck or Cosmo are going to show up. But yeah, we've done our due diligence, even though there really isn't an achievement around that. I'm going to get all the achievements for this game just by finishing the chapters, which probably, I guess, is a little unique considering the game is no longer available for purchase. But
what you got cooking?
It doesn't feel very satisfactory
I've been
because
poring over the scans we got last
you
time
just handed
the
the achievements
Good
with
news
at the end of every
I know
chapter.
what we got to do to take Hala down. Bad news is I don't know how we're gonna do it. We're gonna have to disable that super gun of hers if we want any chance of beating this. Simple, right? No more gun, no more dead people. I mean, we'll still have to deal with Hala herself, who still might very well kill us slowly and agonizingly.
Taking down her gun sounds like explosions might be involved. Are explosions involved?
Maybe. Right. So, far as I can tell, there's a number of key points on the ship to factor in. Here, 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 and here. That's as far as I've gotten.
Okay. So lay it on me.
What do you want to know?
So we get to choose, I guess. So it seems to me like we're breaking up the team again to have them each place explosive in each section.
This place looks important.
Yeah, that's the computer core, where the ship's system can be accessed. We need someone to hack into the computer. It's vital in getting that weapon offline.
I guess that would be Rocket, since we don't have Nebula.
What's this?
The main hull system. You might not remember, but it was filled with those cryopods. And because somebody decided to destroy the Eternity Forge, those meat freezers are offline. All that power's getting diverted to the super weapon. Big old hallway like this? Great place for a distraction.
What's this one?
Those are the access ways to the computer core. Kind of like the hard drive for the ship. If someone don't cover those access ways, reinforcements will be sent straight to the core and overwhelm the hacker in no time.
Okay. Send Drax into the hallway, Gamora in the access way to the computer core, Rocket.
Is that the weapon?
Right.
I question whether the game is even going to
It's got a couple of points on the outside of the ship
give
where
us
the energy
different
is focused
options.
before it discharges. But get this, these points aren't guarded. They're just out there in the open. Probably because the Kree don't think anyone's insane enough to attack a super weapon head on.
So it looks like we are going to be taking on the weapons ourselves.
Are we insane enough to attack a super weapon head on?
We are. I mean, you are, since you'll be handling this part.
Wait, what? Me?
You're the one with the jet boots. I got a slew of homebrewed explosives and deflectors. You'll plant the explosives on each of those energy points, and then when Hala fires the weapon again, boom! It'll blow itself up.
And what if they fire the weapon before I'm done planting the deflectors?
Just finish before that happens. We need our hacker to take down the shields and clear a way for you to plant the explosives. Someone to guard that hacker from any attacking Kree, and a third person to stage a distraction to keep them occupied. But as far as plans go, it's pretty insane. And,
suicidal?
Yeah, that word.
Let's see. Okay. My favorite kind of plan, I guess. I'm trying to be maybe a little bit more comedic in my dialogue choices.
It's got all the adjectives.
Mine too. Oh, I almost forgot. We need someone to grab Hala's helmet. Won't be able to trigger the weapon without it. It's probably in her quarters somewhere, so someone will have to steal it right out from under her nose. Or if it's on her head, right out from above her nose.
That just might be the most insane thing you've said yet.
Why, thank you.
Alright, I'll pick who does what. Hacker, protector, distractor, helmet thief, and me.
Oh baby, am I looking forward to this?
So this almost feels like this should be a Assassin's Creed final mission concept where you have to have built up your affinity with each character for them to survive. Now I said Assassin's Creed, I meant Mass Effect. Yeah. There was, and I think it was Mass Effect 2, where there was this final mission and you had to have done all the optional side quests and become very good friends with all the characters if they have a decent chance of surviving, and even at that you have to assign them to specific positions. So who's gonna steal the helmet, I guess, would be the biggest question. Let's see. And I guess we'll just do that next episode. Next episode should be our last episode and finish the game, but it might be a little bit longer than usual. That was an hour and 10 minutes, effectively, of way too much talking for any game. Way too much talking in a row. Although, in all fairness, that did take it away from having way too much QuickTime events. But clearly, Telltale games just don't have enough tricks in their bag to make an interesting video game. There needs to be at least like one major puzzle in each episode. Plus, they need to get rid of the idea of episodes and just have them sold as one thing and called them acts, and then get rid of the general idea of using the episodes as a way of having multiple writers write each act differently. Clearly there was room for a lot of improvement, to the point where nobody has even tried to do anything similar to a Telltale game, which is a little shocking. People instead would just make a more traditional point and click or a more traditional visual novel, and I don't think I could name a single game that tried to merge point and clicks and visual novels to that level. More often than not, you'll get visual novel elements in RPG games and things with more grindy action in it. Anyways, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to support me further, there's a link down below in the description box. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.